Well, hello there, my fellow codfish. Good times with Scar here, bringing you my Goodbye Modern Warfare 3 Hello Black Ops 2 video. So every year I do one of these where we say goodbye to our past Call of Duty and say hello to the new one that will be releasing in just a few hours. So for the gameplay today, I'll round out the Call of Duty 3 season with what I think is one of my favorite gameplays. We go the highest kill death ratio and cap the most flags. So I think that is a perfect game of Call of Duty right there. So let's get into the commentary. So we're going to be talking about the single player, the co-op, and the multiplayer. So sit back, relax, and let's relive the good times, the bad times of Modern Warfare 3. So let's start out with the campaign. Now, I'll start off with saying that the campaign for Modern Warfare 3 was my favorite of them all. So, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, and Black Ops. I think if I were to look back at them all together, I would say the story for Black Ops was the better of all the stories of the Call of Duties. And the gameplay-wise, Modern Warfare 3 was the best in the single-player category. I think they took us to great places around the world, let us fly around in a lot of cool contraptions, and I think they did a really good job on the single player this time. So let's move into the co-op. Now the co-op falls a little bit short in my opinion, and the co-op falls short in the story and kind of just the appeal of it. So when we look at something like zombies for Black Ops, you've got a lot of characters that you get to know and love. There's a lot of just fun references like the pack-a-punch machines, you have the music, and different things like that that make the whole experience like a perfect movie, like a Pixar movie, how they build great characters and great stories. You know, you might say that's just a kid's movie, but when you look at it as a whole, the movie is an absolutely solid movie that really no other studio can compete with the story and the character development. That's what I think of when I see Black Ops' zombies compared to Modern Warfare 3's co-op. I think co-op would have been a lot better if they could have added, you know, some characters that you could have played, some type of soldiers that maybe would make some funny comments as you were playing together with others. And I think they should have gone with more than 2 people for the survival type mode. I think Chaos mode was a great addition. It breathed a little bit of new life into co-op. But I think if they go around again with this same thing, they need to add a little bit more characters to it, maybe some type of story, and just maybe make it a little bit more goofy. Like when you upgrade a weapon, you can more personalize the weapons, make it a little bit more cartoony-ish, not graphic-wise, but maybe some more unrealistic weapons, just to add a little bit more personality to it. I think that might make it a little bit more fun. But let's get into the multiplayer. Now that's the big daddy of them all. So for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3's multiplayer, I enjoyed myself immensely at times, but unfortunately there were more than one occasion when I had to just put down the controller and take a very long break from the game, and more so than any other Call of Duty. So we'll talk about with some of those negatives that maybe do so in a little bit, but we'll look on the positive side and look for some of the good things done in the game. And the first thing is support. They supported this game very well. These are some of the same people who neglected Modern Warfare 2, but this time they learned from their mistakes and increased their support through the game's life cycle, and that was a much needed thing, and that helped us enjoy the game longer. So I applaud them for that, adding new game modes, supporting the weapon balance, and things like that. For the weapon balance, I think they did a good job, and perks throughout the game's life cycle. When you look at the game and you think about overpowered weapons, a lot of people will give you a variety of weapons that are overpowered, unlike in Black Ops or something where we just had the FAMAS and the AK-47U. In this, people will name a variety of weapons, so that means, in my opinion, the game's weapons were fairly balanced. Next thing, and I love this, is to hear your slain victims' screams of terror after you kill them. That was awesome, and that was a great addition to the game, and I applaud them for that also. Next would be the 2v2 and 3v3s. This was very unprecedented in any Call of Duty to add huge new game modes to the game and even add some maps for free. Some were Call of Duty Elite, but some were free for others that didn't buy into the Call of Duty Elite. So that was really cool of them to actually do. And that was a nice thing for them to do for the community. Now, let's get into the glaring problems. And there were 3 things. We'll start off with map design and spawn system and the support kill streaks. Combining these 3 things together made the game very unplayable at times for me, and I believe it was for others also, especially in Ground War. So we'll talk about the smaller map design first. We all wanted smaller maps, but unfortunately we got maps that were smaller but very chaotic in design. They didn't have a lot of flow to them, and they were unlike a lot of other Call of Duty maps that we've experienced in the past. So many windows and alleyways and staircases going here and there. It was very hard to control your engagements and made one death sometimes turn into a string of 4 or 5 deaths if you got a bad hand in the spawn system. So I think that was one of the glaring problems that set this game aside from being one of the better games in the series. Support kill streaks was something that I was very against, is giving a player that isn't performing well support. It's just a personal opinion. I think if you're not capturing flags or getting kills, maybe there's some room for some support kill streaks, but nothing that is game changing like a stealth bomber or an EMP. When somebody spends the game, capturing flags, doing good gun skill and tactics, getting a higher kill streak and having it ruined by an EMP, that's just unfair, I believe, in my opinion. I'd like to hear your guys' opinion, and that's why I took some of the longest breaks from any other Call of Duty because of some of these things. But with the 2v2 and 3v3, it brought new life to the game and kept my opinion of the game fairly high. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on some of these things, and I always appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my videos. And if you believe the video deserved a rating, that would be much appreciated. And with Black Ops 2 just hours away, we'll see you in 2025.